Hey, health peeps, welcome back to another week. Hey, so because of the weather, they have extended our semester to February 3rd now instead of January 26th. So January 27th will still be a non-school day and all that good stuff, but the semester won't be ending January 26th. It's going to end Friday, February 3rd now. So a little bit of changes in some due dates. But other than that, it really doesn't, I don't really think it affects us too much. Okay. So just a couple announcements. So if you do want to get out of your final, you are excused from the final if you have a 93% in this class, which means that you've turned in everything up to Unit 8 and you have a 93%. Get a 93%, you're excused. I'm going to open up the final on January 16th, and then the box will be shut down for the final on January 30th. So I'm giving you like 14 days to do the final. Okay, so don't start it now because I will go over a final review, and I will tell you everything that you need to study for the final. Okay, I mean, if you want to take it now, you can, but I mean, I would suggest wait until I go over everything. I'll go over everything on the 22nd of January. Okay, that'll be our last session for this class will be about the final. Okay, make sure to read through all the units in the PowerPoints. If you really want to get good grades on the tests, the unit tests, make sure that you're reading through the PowerPoint that I send out and skimming through the units. Okay, if you don't find anything that the test is asking in the PowerPoint, but it's more likely probably 100% in the unit. Okay, I didn't touch on everything in the PowerPoint. It would be way too much at times. You can go back and redo any work or any quiz from units 1 through 8. Or 1 through 7. I don't care. The quizzes are computer graded, so you can go back and redo any quiz 2 times. You get 2 attempts. So if you don't like a grade or you're trying to get to that 93%, go back, redo your quizzes, redo any Part 1 exam, any unit test, Part 1 exam. There's 2 parts to every unit test. There's a Part 1, which is multiple choice, and that's computer graded. And then there's Part 2, that's the one that you have to put in the Dropbox, and that's graded by me, okay? So any unit test, Part 1, you can go back and try to get a better grade on, okay? Any of that, and any quizzes. Okay? So I would suggest if you're trying to get to that 93 or you want to get that A or you want to get that B or move your grade up a little bit, go retake quizzes, okay? Go retake your Unit 1 tests. Objectives today is so in this unit, Unit 8, we're going to be talking about community, basically, and communicable diseases, non-communicable diseases, what a healthy community looks like. Do you think that you live in a healthy community? And we're going to, next week will be our last week. It's going to be on the environment, okay? A little bit about the environment and how to take care of it and all that good stuff, because I think it's really important that we learn to take care of our environment, especially the one we live in. So today we're going to talk a little about communicable, non-communicable diseases. What are they? Okay. And you're going to list some health resources in your area, okay, and share those with your classmates in your discussion. So your first discussion question is, please list 3 communicable diseases and tell me how communicable diseases are transmitted, and list 2 non-communicable diseases, okay? So you're probably saying, well, what's a communicable? That's a big word, okay? One's infectious, one's non-infectious. Communicable means infectious disease, and non-infectious is non-communicable, okay? So communicable diseases, they're the ones that are, they're spread from one person to another through either like sneezing in the air, contact, okay, or getting a bodily fluid on somebody, okay? So that happens, kissing, sharing a glass with somebody, okay? All those ways you can get a communicable disease. So basically like your cold, your flu, strep throat, mono, okay? Obviously sexually transmitted diseases, okay? If you know that somebody is sick, don't share utensils with them, don't shake hands with them, don't give them hugs, kind of just keep your distance, and maybe high five. or something like that. But try not to stay in close contact with somebody that you know is sick, because through touch you can get sick yourself. Okay. And obviously, I hope you don't want to be sick, especially the strain that's going around now. It's pretty bad. Okay. Indirect contact with somebody who's sick can happen as well. So touching a bathroom handle, if someone sneezed and they touch a bathroom handle, well, there's an indirect contact, but you can get it. So just be really careful with that, okay? Because then you go around and you touch your face and and all that, and then you transmit their stuff to you, okay? So try not to do that, okay? So there's different types of there's different types of bad guys, germs. There's the viruses and there's bacteria. Viruses, we can fight off. Bacteria, we kind of just have to let it go through our system. Okay, so the viruses is going to enter the body and it kills host cells and spreads throughout your whole body. There's the cold, the flu, viral, pneumonia, polio. Okay, so actually, sorry, I switched it. Bacterias are ones that you can cure with things like antibiotics. Sorry, okay. But then your typical viruses like the cold and flu, you can get a shot for the flu, which you have to do every year. That can help you from not getting the flu. And then the cold, well, those are things that we have to let go through our body. Viruses are things that we have to let go through our body and take its course. Pneumonia, polio, measles, you can get vaccinated for these types of things. But you're probably going to get chickenpox at one point in your life if you haven't got it already, okay? So even though you can get a shot for it and help fight it, you still will probably get it, okay? So viruses and bacteria are the bad guys. So those are communicable diseases. They're ones that you can get from one person to another, from the air, okay? So from a bathroom, so indirect and direct contact. Okay, those are communicable diseases. So you're going to need to list 3 of them, and then tell me how it's transmitted. Okay, and then there's non-communicable diseases, the NCDs we call them, non-communicable, or non-infectious. Okay, these aren't passed on per se from person to person. Now, genetic-wise, something might be passed on in there, like cancer or high cholesterol and blood pressure, but you don't get stroke from your parents or from touching somebody. You don't get cancer from touching somebody. Okay, you don't get arthritis or allergies from touching somebody or catching it in the air. Okay, these are things that don't get passed to you from a person to person. Okay, but they could be passed genetically. Okay, but it's still non-communicable because it's not you get it from somebody in the community. Okay. Ways to prevent non-communicable diseases is exercise, eating the right food and nutrients so your body has a nice, strong immune system. Get your vaccinations, practice good hygiene, go to the doctor and get checkups, enjoy your life, try not to be stressed all the time. Sorry, puppy fight. Stay away from drugs and alcohol, abstinence, okay? Have positive people in your life and positive ways to relieve stress. Those would be all good ways to help keep non-communicable diseases away, okay? Some non-communicable diseases are things like cardiovascular disease, stroke, and atherosclerosis, cancer, okay? Cardiovascular disease is the #1 cause of death in the United States. It's usually from high blood pressure, hypertension. Okay, atherosclerosis. I always have a hard time pronouncing that word. Okay, it's basically the hardening of the arteries. Okay, the artery walls get filled up with cholesterol. Your artery wall is healthy, looking like this, and if you eat high-fattening foods, that wall will slowly get plaque buildup, and that hole will get smaller and smaller, which means the blood doesn't pass through very well. Okay, which could be really scary and could cause a heart attack, and to where you would have to go in for surgery. Okay. Sorry, my puppy is fighting with my male dog for some reason. Oh, she's becoming food protective. So, okay. Moving right along. Diabetes and type 2 diabetes are also two, they're non-communicable diseases. So diabetes, and there's type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is usually something you might be born with or begins in childhood. Okay, the body doesn't produce enough insulin, which is the hormone that converts blood sugar into energy. Okay, so your body's not getting enough insulin. Symptoms of diabetes 1 could be that you're hungry, you're thirsty, you have excessive urination, dehydration. It can lead to blindness, kidney failure, death, lower limb amputation. Okay, and then there's type 2 diabetes, where the body cannot make enough insulin or can't use insulin properly. Okay, and then this is greatly increasing, especially with teens, due to people gaining weight and being less active and poor eating habits. Okay, so we're seeing a rise in today's youth with diabetes too. Okay. Prevention with this is just healthy diet and exercise, making sure that you are not eating too much sugar and highly processed foods. Okay, so a little bit on diabetes 1 and 2. Congenital disorders. These are things that people are born with, like cleft palates, Down syndrome, heart defects like a murmur. Okay, they're present at birth, and it's maybe hereditary. The mother or the father may have a gene for this. Okay. No. Okay. And then it could be caused from infections in the mother during pregnancy. Okay. It's or genetic or inherited. The parents or the mother or the father has the gene for it. Okay. So like cystic fibrosis, Down syndrome, and Tay-Sachs disease are all ones that like can be genetically inherited from your mom or your dad. Okay. You have the control to keep yourself healthy. You have this control. You choose what you put into your mouth. You choose whether you go outside and exercise or stay in the house and do push-ups and sit-ups and squats and lunges. Okay. So your discussion question is, please explain 2 ways you can keep yourself from getting a non-communicable disease and 2 ways to reduce your chances of a communicable disease. Okay. So I want you to tell me 2 ways you can keep communicable diseases away. I explained a couple, and ways that you can keep non-communicable and communicable diseases away. Okay. So here's some. Reducing your risks. You want to adopt a healthy lifestyle. Be surrounded by positive people. Eat healthy. Exercise. Cook your own food. Don't smoke or drink. Do drugs. Stay away from sex, unprotected sex, all that kind of stuff. Get enough sleep. Okay. Practice good hygiene. Go to the doctor. Go to the dentist. Take your showers. Okay. Make sure that you're just taking care of yourself. Okay. And get your vaccinations. Go to your doctor to get regular checkups. Okay. Yearly physicals are always really good. Sorry. I'm going to fix something on your guys' PowerPoint here. Okay. All right, moving right along. So those are ways to reduce risks of getting non-communicable diseases and communicable diseases, okay, or mostly communicable diseases. You have influence on your health, okay, so there's things that you kind of almost can't control. Genetics is one of them. You can't control what you're going to get passed on from your parents. Genetics account for about 30% of your health status. Medical care, okay, this is important. You can control whether you go to the doctor or not, but then you can't control it if you don't have medical insurance. This results for 10% of your health status. The environment, the place that you live in, accounts for about 20% of your health status. This is like your bedroom, your home, your neighborhood, okay, the pollution in your area, okay, is it dirty or clean in your area? So you have control of your bedroom, obviously, and you can have help control over your home. Like have people, if they want to smoke, smoke outside, not in your house, or in the car when you're driving. Don't smoke in the car with the windows rolled up. Don't smoke in the car, period, because all that gets trapped in there. Okay. Noise pollution. Is it really loud where you live? Are you sticking your earbuds in your ears, blasting your music? Okay, so like all that is a part of your environment. And then, of course, your lifestyle. This counts for 40% of your health. What are you putting in your body, food-wise? What are you doing for exercise-wise? And are you keeping yourself protected? Are you staying around positive people? Are you staying away from smoking and all that kind of good stuff? So that's the biggest part of your health status or influence on your health is your own personal lifestyle. Okay. So moving into community health. So your last discussion question is going to be based on community health. Do you think that you live in a positive, healthy community? And some things that might help you to answer this is there traffic safety? Is there restaurant inspections? So do you go to restaurants where they have a bad rating? Okay, hopefully you don't. Are you following nutrition guidelines? Tracking maybe disease transmission within your area. Is there like a high level of malaria in your area, or is there a high level of chickenpox or measles in your area? Do you have to be careful for kind of those types of things? So the discussion question is, tell me what you think makes a community healthy. Okay, I want to see 3 ways that make a community healthy. And then the next slide will show you some information on a healthy community. Okay, so there's healthcare systems in your community. There's a safe environment, maybe like a neighborhood watch, which I belong to my neighborhood watch, which I really like it because it tells me where thefts are happening in the different neighborhoods, or whether people, like, we've had mail theft in our neighborhood over this holiday, which was really scary. So do you feel that you live in a healthy, safe environment? Okay, that's one way to know if your community is healthy. Do you have neighborhood watch? Okay, do you have easy access to the police? How fast do the police get to you? Do you have a place for community health services that you might need? Okay, so positive community influences are healthcare providers, health insurance. You have public agencies that help with low-income families with WIC, provide food and medical services, okay, to mothers or expecting mothers. Volunteer health centers like the American Cancer Society and the Red Cross, and local community. Do they have like churches and public barbecues and shelters like right now? I know Living Hope Church is taking in people like the homeless people because it's been so cold lately. So we have that in our community here. Okay, so a negative community would be like lack of local health resources, lack of grocery stores. If you live in a really small town and you're like grocery stores like way out there, or if you live way out there and it takes you a long time to get to your grocery store, you know, that's tough stuff. You can't just get food when you need to, or if there's like an emergency, like we have major flooding and you can't get to the grocery store, how are you going to eat if you live way the heck out there? Okay, so living in a poor community can be one of the biggest threats to a person's health. And so your last discussion question, there's quite a bit of discussion questions in this, but your last discussion question is going to be, you're going to research the following places in Vancouver, Portland area. You're going to research community health clinic, a substance abuse prevention and treatment program, local parks and recreation area, mental health services, and hospitals. You need to name the organization, give me the address and website, the contact information, like a phone number, and brief description of what they do. Okay? So that's going to be it. This week you have 1 quiz and 1 discussion, so 8.02 quiz and the 8.01 to 8.04 discussion. Okay? So that'll be it for this week, and then by Wednesday of this week, though, you have to turn in Unit 7, Part 1 and 2 test. Okay, but other than that, your weekly goal is, since we are near the end of the semester, I think that this is a great time to write down what you need to do before the semester is done. I want to see what you will do in order to stay focused until the end of the semester, so I want to see a plan. What's your plan for the rest of the semester in order to pass all your classes? Okay, that's it. Thank you for listening to communicable, non-communicable diseases, and what a healthy community looks like. Okay? Have a great day, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.